You're staring at a star-filled sky, or maybe you're just staring at the back of your eyelids at 3 a.m. Suddenly, you get that feeling, that weird skin-prickling sensation that you aren't just a meat suit walking around on a rock. You feel seen. For centuries, we've framed finding God as a human quest, like we're Indiana Jones hunting for a lost artifact. But what if we have the direction wrong? What if the divine isn't something we find, but something that is biologically programmed to find us? Today, we're looking at the God-shaped hole from a different angle. We're talking about hyperactive agency detection, the overview effect, and why your brain is hardwired to seek a father figure in the vast, silent vacuum of the universe. Let's go back to the savannah one more time. In the world of our ancestors, there were two types of people. One, the one who heard a rustle in the grass and thought, it's probably just the wind. And two, the one who heard a rustle and thought, there is a conscious entity there trying to eat me. The first guy was right 99% of the time, but the 1% of the time he was wrong, he died. The second guy survived. This is called hyperactive agency detection device, HADD. Our brains are evolved to assume agency, to assume there is a who behind the what. We see faces in the clouds and intentions in the lightning. We are biologically incapable of looking at a complex system and not looking for the designer. God finds us because our hardware is literally a signal receiver for intent. We don't just see a universe, we see a conversation. Astronauts often experience something called the overview effect. When they see Earth from space, a tiny, fragile blue marble hanging in a void, they undergo a cognitive shift. They feel an overwhelming sense of universal connection. But you don't need a rocket ship to feel this. You just need to hit a limit. Human beings are obsessed with autonomy. We love feeling like the CEO of our own lives, but eventually everyone hits a wall. Grief, awe, or the sheer mathematical impossibility of our own existence. When our self-importance breaks, we experience the smallness paradox. In that moment of total insignificance, we don't feel deleted, we feel found. It's as if the ego is a noisy radio station that, once turned off, allows the background radiation of the universe to finally be heard. From a psychological perspective, we have a template for protection. For the first decade of your life, your parents were, for all intents and purposes, gods. They provided food, dictated morality, and kept the monsters under the bed at bay. As we get older, we lose that safety net. But the attachment theory doesn't just disappear. We still crave a secure base. God finds us in our moments of vulnerability, because our brain is searching for the original blueprint of the protector. We use the language of father or creator because it's the only software we have to describe something that cares for us without us having to earn it. We aren't just looking for a deity, we're looking for the feeling of being unconditionally accounted for. Let's talk about the neurotheology of it all. When people have religious experiences, specific parts of the brain light up. The frontal lobes focus, and the parietal lobes, which handle our sense of self versus the world. During deep prayer or meditation, the parietal lobes actually quiet down. When that happens, the physical boundary between you and everything else dissolves. This isn't just a glitch, it's a built-in reset button. The universe finds us because we have a biological trapdoor that leads directly out of our own heads. Whether you call it the Holy Spirit or a neurochemical cascade, the result is the same, a total shutdown of the lonely self. Now, why does God always seem to find us when things go wrong? There are no atheists in foxholes, as the old saying goes. This is a classic case of loss aversion. We are terrified of the idea that our lives have a net zero value. If our suffering has no witness, it feels meaningless. If our joy has no audience, it feels fleeting. We allow ourselves to be found because the alternative, cosmic solitude, is a weight that the human psyche wasn't designed to carry. We create a witness because a life unobserved is a life unverified. God finds us because we leave the porch light on, hoping someone is watching the house. Now, have you ever thought of someone and then they called you? Or needed a sign and saw a specific bird or a billboard? Your brain is a probability machine. We ignore the 10,000 times nothing happened and fixate on the one time the timing was perfect. But instead of calling it math, we call it synchronicity. We interpret these moments as the divine reaching out. And maybe it is, or maybe our pattern-seeking hardware is so hungry for meaning that it will stitch together random data points until it sees a hand reaching back. Either way, the feeling of being reached for is what changes our behavior. Whether you view God as a literal creator, a psychological safety net, or the collective energy of the species, the fact remains we are a receptive species. We are the only creatures on this planet that ask why. We're the only ones who look at the stars and feel like they're looking back. We aren't lost in the universe. We're a part of the universe that has finally opened its eyes. God finds us because we're built to be found. We're the grand human dance, trying to find its rhythm. So the next time you feel that shiver of the sacred, don't over-intellectualize it. Just let it find you. If this deep dive into the big questions moved the needle for you, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We're building a community here for the curious, those who aren't afraid to look at the why behind the who, and you can subscribe for more content that hits you right in the frontal lobe. I'll see you in the next one. Stay curious, stay humble, and keep looking up.